Okay, so stitch continued. Here we are. This is through round 10, the round 10 that was in with round 9, if your paper is the same as mine. So now I have, this is what I'm going to do for 11. So I've done the color change, and I'm going to single crochet in the next 10, change colors in that 10th stitch, then in the purple color single crochet in the next 7, and then single crochet 3 together. So to start with, we're just single crocheting across the blue and changing color in the last stitch like we have been. So 1, wait, will that put it? No, yeah, that'll be on the right side. Okay, good. So 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 with a color change. Okay, now we're going to do 7 in the purple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now these last 3 purple, we're going to single crochet 3 together and then switch colors. So insert, pull up a loop, insert under the next, pull up a loop, insert under the next, pull up a loop, then drop that one behind, pick up the blue, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops there. And now that is 11. Now for 12, we're going to start with a single crochet 3 together and then single crochet the rest of the blue around. So take out my stitch marker and then insert under the first blue, pull up a loop, insert under the second blue, pull up a loop, insert under the third blue, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops, and then single crochet 7. So this is the edge of where we just worked right here. Here's our loop. There's the edge. It's touching it. We're going to go in the next one, which is our next stitch in the round for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then in 7 we'll change colors. Okay. And now we are going to, in the purple, single crochet 7, and then in the last one we're going to do 4 single crochet. So 1 single crochet here in the first purple and in the next 6 for 7. So that was 1. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then here in this last one right here we're going to put 4. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, now our fourth one we're going to switch back. So one more in here, pull up the loop, lay that back, and switch over for 4. Okay. Oh, I haven't been using my stitch marker, but you know, I'm at the next row now. So that was 12. Now 13, we're going to start with 4 single crochet in the first stitch here. So I'm going to do those 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then single crochet 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. I'm going to switch colors. So that's 7. And now single crochet 11 across the purple. So insert into the first one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And here on the 11th, this is the end of a row, by the way. I know I'm not using my stitch marker, but 11 we're going to switch. Okay, so let's take stock for a moment. So here we are, and there's the divot, right? And now we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Okay. And that was 13. So for 14, single crochet in the first 9, then single crochet 2 together means that there's 11 blue stitches when you start the round. And then light purple, the same thing, single crochet 2 together, single crochet in the last 9, also 11. So we're at the right count now to just pick back up with 14 and finish this out normally. So we're just going to pick up with 14 now. So we've already changed, and now we're going to single crochet in the first 9 and then single crochet 2 together, and in that single crochet 2 together we'll change colors. I think I forgot to do my twist, but that's okay. We'll do it now. So get my first stitch in here. Stitch marker in. That's 1. Okay. Now 2. Some of these are going to be small from doing the 4 and 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and now our single crochet 2 together, and oh hey, I forgot to carry this. Alrighty, that's alright. We'll just do a loop around it now. Insert under the next as well, 3 loops on the hook. I'm gonna lay that down, and since I forgot to carry this, oh, I dropped it. I'm just gonna hold this here so I can't over tighten this. Like, I'll just make a little extra space there. And pull through all 3 loops. Okay. Alright, we're starting with the single crochet 2 together. So I'm going to insert under the first purple, pull up a loop, insert under the second, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3, and then it should just be single crochet 9 again. So we're gonna start in the next stitch of the round. Make sure I'm carrying that yarn this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We will do our color change. Okay. Alrighty. So 15, same thing. We're just stepping it down 1, and that's how it's going to be for the rest of them. Put my first one in. Okay. That's 1. Now I could loop this around there too, but it's fine. It's not pulled tight or anything. The other one that I didn't carry, it can just sit there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then single crochet 2 together and color change. Okay. And then another single crochet 2 together, but this time in purple. And then starting in our next stitch in the round, which is a little bit of a reach this time. Single crochet 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and color change. Okay. Alrighty, so the rest of the ones, it's just stepping it down one. It's the same exact pattern as we just did, so I think I should be okay with not demonstrating them. I'm gonna do 16, 17, and 18, so each time it's just, you know, single crochet in the first 7, single crochet 2 together, single crochet 2 together, single crochet in 7, and then the next one is 6 instead of 7, and then 5 instead of 6. So I'm going to do those 3 and then I'll be back. Okay, so here is end of 18. Now, looking at this, I think it'll be fun. Like, if they had had the divot correctly, they might have done the decreases on this side so that it curved this way. But I think it'll be fine either way. That looks pretty fine to me. So we're going to leave that as it is, because I don't really think it matters. But I suppose if you thought it would look better to curve this way, then you could redo those rounds and just swap where the decreases happen, but that seems too complicated to bother with. All right, so single crochet in the next 4, single crochet 2 together, twice for 19. Come back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease and color change. And then the same, so we're not doing our decrease right away this time. Under that first stitch, we're doing the 4 single crochet first. Two, 3, 4, and decrease and color change, and then we are done with this color. Okay, so put that down, pick up the blue. Now the next round is just single crochet each stitch around, so I'm going to put the first one in, and then I'm going to cut the purple and tie it off like we did with the first one. Okay. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm just going to slide that through a stitch. Hey, why have you done this? Let's pick a different stitch. That one was mean to us. Okay. Now, I'm gonna run this through a couple more stitches and I think tie it again because that didn't feel very secure. And then we'll just leave it in here. So I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with the felt eyes when I first started this, because I don't like the idea of them just being stuck on. You know, I'm sure the glue's not going to last. And I think that I'm just going to do something I've done in the past, which is just sew them on with needle and thread. In case a child ends up playing with them eventually. So that's probably what I'll do for that. All right, purple done. And now we just continue with a single crochet in each stitch around in blue. Okay. So here we are. And since this is going to be like that on the thing anyway, I think that lean is fine. I'm going to move this over here just to keep track and do what I did with the other ear, which is work my way around, putting in an edging. So I'm going to start with a slip stitch right here on the side, and then I'm going to hold this like this. I'm going to flatten it that way and work my way around, putting like a single crochet in each round basically. So the first one I'm going to do is right here through both layers there, single crochet, then move up one, and I'm tightening this down a bit like as I go so that it helps with the cupping, you know, and making the ear look like it's curling in. Now here, I think I'll do a slip here, right here into the center. And then I'll do a single crochet right here. And continue around. Hold on, let me see. Do I need to rotate this a little to make it? I'm backing up to the slip. I'm leaving the slip in, but I'm just gonna manipulate this so that it's got the blue forward. Okay. So basically just doing the same thing again, but just trying to make sure it's aligned well. And then continuing with one single crochet in between each round. Go right there. This is where it gets a little more difficult to see, and you just kind of gotta make sure you're manipulating it so that you can put it where you want it to go. Okay, and here is sort of a good time to show like what it's doing for us. So the difference that it makes having this nice edge. All right. Now I'm going to do, I believe I started with a slip stitch right here. And then chain one, slip stitch, like kind of one over. I don't like that. I'm going to take these two out and do something. I think I'll do one more single crochet here. Right, like here. Okay, yeah, that's good. And then we'll do the slip stitch, chain, slip stitch, chain. I'm just putting them right in the edge of the very dark blue. Slip stitch and chain, and then I'm gonna single crochet right here on the edge. Okay. There's a knot there. That's fine. Alrighty, now down this side, we're gonna continue with just the single crochet. Let's see where this lies if I just keep going. Let's say that that's gonna hold and just trim this for now, I guess. Okay. Yeah. The knot's gonna bother me. Oh, it wasn't gonna hold anyway. Okay. don't want to over tighten this, so. Okay, now I'm going to tie this again and just shove this in here and have that be that. Okay. Alrighty, anyway. Caught a bit of a pink loop there that I didn't want. So I know some of these are like reaching too far in here, but truthfully, I've had about enough of these ears, so I'm just ready. I'm ready to move on from the ears and their continual nonsense. So I'm probably going a little too fast. And I still think, looking at the picture on the box, that the ears that they're displaying aren't even made with this pattern. It doesn't look like something that started at the top and worked down in concentric circles. It looks like something that started down the center and worked its way out in ovals. That one didn't want to behave itself. Let's try that again. Okay. Alrighty, now one last slip stitch on the edge here. Ear 2. There's what we got. And actually, that's all the pieces. So, the next step is assembly. Okay, so ears, head, body, arms, feet, and the facial features. So stuff the body, sew the body to the head. Let's get some stuffing in here. I think a little bit more. Okay. So we're just going to try to line this up so that, you know, the lighter blues are pretty centered to each other. I think I'm going to try to kind of match this and this with this and this, like that. I'm not usually that great at like the placement and stuff. But I think that's fine. Alrighty, so back here, I'm just gonna do this pretty simply and slip under a stitch here in the bottom like this. I could try to get under the, why have you done this to me? Under the edge of the tops of the stitches there, but I'm just gonna go with the little side stitch that's presenting itself there. And then after I go that way, I'm going to go up through the edge of this top stitch like that. And I'm just going to do this around. So I'm going horizontally through the bottom there and then vertically through the top. And I'm just going to do this around. I want to be careful not to try not to get any of the white filling, like pulling that, to not pull that through, because it's really annoying to try to clean up. So I'm trying to be really deliberate and make sure I'm checking my needle to make sure I'm not pulling any up with it. I wonder if I should try for this row in here, or if I should just, I think I'm going to keep going where I am. Let's see, we'll go under here. Yeah, that's looking fine. We're just going to continue like this. Okay. And I'm just checking where that side of that stitch is and just finding a stitch underneath it as far as my placement for the bottom. Tuck that in. And keep going around. one here, and then we'll take a look. Okay, not bad. Pretty happy with that. So let's tie this off. It's looking real penguiny right now. Tie this off and feed this into the inside. So let's see. I'm gonna go right here. And then I'm just gonna feed this needle through the loop that I made to tighten that down like that. Then I am going to slip under a stitch, and then just for a little bit, I'll feed this through some of the nearby loops just to secure that end. And then after that, I'm going to run it into the body, bring it out another side. And I'm going to pull this so that it scrunches up a bit so that when I cut it, it pulls back into the body. Alrighty, so head is on. Now stuff arms lightly and sew to body. So got our two little tiny arms, and we'll get a little bit of stuffing. Still seems like a lot. I'm just going to use the back of my hook and fold this over and kind of scoop it in there. Then I'll gather up the pieces, sort of. Okay. Okay. And the same thing for this one. So just folding and pressing like that. Okay. Now, they have the arms placed into the blue and not the light blue, and they look like they're sort of far back. They look kind of short. So and they look like they're right up against the head. So I think I'm gonna go like a row back on either side and put them in there. Let us see. To make this easier, it doesn't say to, but I'm gonna sew this shut real fast. I'm just gonna run through the stitches on both sides. Like that. Pull it a little. And then I'm gonna align. So we got the edge where these meet, and then we got this sort of section here. I'm gonna align right to the side of that. Right up here at the top. So just to get started, I'm just gonna get my needle through about where I wanna be. And then once it's up here, I think I'll sew this one from the bottom down here instead of trying to go up against the head up there. So I'm stretching the body out a little bit with my fingers to make space. And Let me get the needle to the front of this. Okay, and I'm just gonna grab some of that and then come up through the bottom of this. Oh. And then again over. Come through the bottom. And again. Now they look kind of like they're reaching forward a little, so maybe I'll put this last stitch kind of down a little so it or pushed forward a little. So let's see. I'm going to hold this forward and then come through the back here. Ungrab the back like that and see what that does. Yeah, I mean, that's good enough for me. All right, I'm going to tie this off, so I'm going to catch a loop right down here where my yarn is coming out anyway. Grab this so I can't pull it all the way through. Feed the end through the loop. Untie. And then I'm going to tie it again because that didn't feel like a great tie. Usually, I've just remembered, I don't tie right away because I'm like, what if I need to move them and whatever. I'll weave the tail in a little bit. But I guess I'm just going for it this time. Okay, now same thing over here. I'm going to come to the edge. I'm going to go like one stitch section over and insert my hook up here to get this started about where I want to go. Okay. And I'm going to, well, now I got to go this way because I started on this end. That was silly of me. Catch this from the bottom. And then come through the layers there. Catch it from the bottom. I hope these are lined up. This is the part that I usually have to redo, putting the appendages on, because I'll put them really, really crooked and not realize it until I'm done. I don't understand how it happens. Okay, now this does look further back than the other one, but also this blue section isn't exactly the same, so maybe it's fine, and maybe we'll leave it anyway and it'll be fine. I'm going to pull it forward like I did before for this last bit so that I can try to force it to go where I want. And then tie off. Hey, get back here. I'm going to weave all the ends in the way that I already did like the first one, so I'm not going to do them all on here. I'll just do them all at once. So there's arms. Stuff, feet, and soda body. All right, I'm going to weave in these ends and I'll be back. Okay, so I stuffed the feet, same way I did the arms. And they're pretty much right on where the light and the darker blue meet on either side. So let's see, do we think we have a particular right and left? No, I think this one looks good over here. Alrighty, so I'm basically just going to do similar to what I did with the head. I'm going to hold it against here. And catch a stitch in the bottom. Go through the side of the loop there. And just do this around. I'm going to keep checking to make sure that I'm not like pushing the foot around to somewhere I don't want it to be. But overall, it's going to be pretty much the same as the head. So I'm going to go around and finish that up and I'll be back. Alrighty, so that's one leg. Now it's just align the other one on the other side. I feel like my legs look almost like they're too long looking at the box, but you know, it is what it is at this point. Align the other leg on the other corner, and I'm going to sew that on the same way. This looks kind of funky, and I don't really know what to do about it, but I think I'm going to get this leg on and see what I think. So I'm going to put this one on over here, and I'll be back. Okay, so I had to move this leg over to like the very edge of the blue join because it looked funky the other way. Fold the bottom part of the ears and sew the head. Okay. So we're gonna fold these each, the bottom like this, and then sew them on. Folded like that. So it looks like it's got them attached pretty low and toward the back. These ears are way big. Okay. Let's see. Well, whatever. Can't do anything about that. All right, so I'm going to, instead of just folding these, I'm going to fold and sew them. So I don't have to keep fiddling with them. I'm just going to put a couple stitches through here. Okay, and now guess we'll just kind of do it. Why do they look so big? Okay, it doesn't matter. Along where this lighter blue ends, sort of, like right behind there. It's because they're not the same ears. I mean, I know they're not the same ears. I guess we'll just do right here. They're too big, but, you know, what am I going to do about that at this point? Alrighty, so let's see. No, don't do that. Okay. So I have this basically right over the shoulder, and I think that that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to just sew this on. Oh, why? Don't do this. Oh yeah, I have to weave in ends for the feet. Okay. And then I'm going to come through both layers here. Come through both layers. Grab another loop down here. And then after I get it like basically attached, then I will sew this to the bottom better. Alright, I think that's good enough. Now I'm going to do some stitches down here below it. And then come up and press into it in through the first head layer and then come out through the bottom. To kind of secure this part down better. Like that. Okay, and now I'm going to come up and put some stitches in between here and here. So I'm going to hold this along here, and this is just more to have it flop a little less. So I'm going to come along here. First I'm going to bring my needle over a little so that it's lined up more toward the middle. And then just do a couple of stitches. So I'm going to go down in, across, and then over and across here, like a little ladder connecting the two, and then down in, over. And step up on this side. I'm wondering now. Actually, this is probably the one that had that funky clear needle, huh? With the bump on the end. I just kind of keep them on my little, like, table, so I must have just grabbed the wrong one. But I don't know how I'd be doing this with the funky clear needle. So maybe I don't mind. I think one more. Kind of like that. And then I'm going to go in here and bring this down so that I can tie this off later. But, you know, I might end up having to move stuff. So there's one. Might be a little far back, but I don't know. So the second one. Okay. You want it to be about the same place. That looks, these are so big. This isn't even the same. Am I going to want to move that forward? No, I think it's fine. So I'll try to get it basically the same spot. That looks like it could be good. I'm just trying to get it basically attached so that I can see the placement. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think that's okay. So alrighty, so I'm going to sew this here on in pretty much the same way. I'll attach it up the side and everything, and then I'll be back. Okay, so here's the second ear. I had to do quite a bit of like some pulling it to the side and shaping and stuff to get it to lay in a way that I thought was reasonable. But so all that's left is the eyes and nose, and then they show on the thing this little thing of hair. So we can do that just with whatever piece of yarn. Probably a little back from center is good. I'm just gonna make a little loop like that, pull it under a stitch, and then grab these and pull them through the loop on the hook and pull tight. And then you can trim them to a length that you want. You can, let's see, you can, and if you don't like it, you can just pull on the little loop there and pull it out. You can separate them so that they're like fuzzy, kind of like that, if you want to have that little tuft there. So I'm going to, I'll sew these like with needle and thread as well. I think I'm going to trim this off. But you don't have to do that. I'm sure you could like glue it as well. But I just want to reduce the chances of a small child, you know, like pulling them off and eating them. Now, as far as the actual instructions, I don't know what they're talking about. For part of the eye, cut the white and black felt and glue to the head. Sew the small white bead in the inner eyes. I'm guessing it was not the same setup for those instructions, because we don't have small white beads or anything like that. Yeah, that's... No, that... Okay, we can figure this out. Yeah, I guess that's how they go. Just looks a little odd. I guess I'll try to get this nose on first. So I am going to use the little tape that they're, you know, and then I'll just sew with needle and thread. I probably won't do that. I don't really see any reason to do that on here, but just try to get this kind of centered. And then, oh, look at his little eyes. A little higher for the eyes. I'm thinking like right here. I mean, unless this is just going to sit on a shelf, I would definitely reinforce these eyes with something. Okay, I think that that placement is fine and good. I'm going to take probably needle and I might actually also do extra glue, and maybe if I do extra glue and it seems really secure, I might just leave it at glue, because I've done the sewing the felt one before and it's hard to do and have it look nice. So I'm probably going to see if I have some, like, I don't even know what type of glue you would use. Maybe some epoxy or something really good that would cure, and use that. But for all intents and purposes currently, this is the stitch. Here he is. He kind of turned out cuter than I thought with how the ears were going, but I think that they turned out okay. I really don't think it's the same pattern. I think I said this before, but this definitely looks like it was worked in going outward in ovals and not from the top down. But here he is. And I think that that's pretty cute. So next will be Scrump. I'm definitely going to better secure these pieces somehow. And yeah, he's pretty cute. The little tuft looks nice. So that is this. Here we are. And hopefully I'll be able to start Scrump soon. I still have the sloth planner to finish. And one of my professors saw fit to make a paper do over spring break, which I totally don't understand, but you know, got to do that. So we'll see what we have time for. But I hope this is helpful, and I hope that you like how your stitch turns out.